John Kraman was probably the most remarkable person I had ever worked with in television.
Working with John Kraman was really taking a master class in automotive television. He essentially was the face of the auctions. And when they started broadcasting the auctions, he was the logical choice to be the on-camera analyst. And he did it so brilliantly.
When he got into the booth, it was go time. He had blinders on. It was all about the car that was on the block.
I have never been more excited to begin a Mecum auction since we've been doing this 17 years ago.
They called him the professor for a reason, right? There was nothing that he didn't know.
There just was such a life in him, and that it seemed like the more he was around these cars, the more it fueled him to want to keep being a part of this industry.
John had a genuine love of the industry. And while his main focus and for his personal collection zeroed in on American models, he loved genuinely anything with 2 and 4 wheels.
He was a big muscle car fan because he grew up in that first muscle car era, like I did, and that's the kind of thing that guided his interest and his obsession throughout his life.
The GTO he bought when he was 19. He recognized the significance of that car maybe before a lot of other people did.
Very proud of it. It was a tri-power car, 348 horsepower, 4-speed car, and he kept it in fantastic condition, did not drive it very much.
For him, that represented the genesis of the muscle car era, which was so important to him. His 2014 Mustang GT was one of his favorite cars.
John bought his Mustang new, and that was another vehicle from his collection that he took meticulous care of. He was so adamant about making sure it looked its best, and I think more importantly, running its best.
It had that Coyote engine in it, and so often John talked about that S197 Mustang platform. 2014 was the end of the line for that.
John loved the simplicity of it, and he loved the thrill that it brought him behind the wheel. JK was literally the walking encyclopedia of Corvettes, both vintage Corvettes and also modern Corvettes. He was so passionate about them.
One of the Corvettes that John owned was probably the Corvette he drove the most, and that was the 2010 Corvette that he had, the C6 Corvette, 430 horsepower, 6-speed manual, fast car, stylish, quick.
John was so excited that this new mid-engine Corvette was coming out. And when he ordered his, he knew exactly what he wanted. Elkhart Lake Blue Metallic, 1 LT trim package coupe.
He finally took delivery of that car, and man, every time he drove it, you can just picture that big smile on his face. Whoever buys that car is, I hope, going to appreciate it and love it as much as he did.
He bought the 72 Corvette for his wife, Christine, and that was their show vehicle that they were actively working on getting judged and benchmarked and really bringing it back to that showroom quality that John so loved.
He went to a Corvette restorer and had that car brought back to 100-point perfection and took it to Bloomington Gold and got the car Bloomington Gold certified. That was big for him, and we all took delight in the fact that he was able to proudly display that car as a Bloomington Gold certified Corvette.
John loved open-air motoring, I think because at heart, John was just a true Southern California rock star. He loved rock and roll music, fast cars, and of course, motorcycles.
The motorcycles especially, I find impressive because we have the Mecum motorcycle auction, and he sits there and can go through all of these different makes of motorcycles and give you the stats and the background and the history.
We were in Las Vegas in January of 2024, and he told me that he had his eye on this 03 100th anniversary Harley-Davidson FLH, and he was going to go for it. And I was videotaping him at the time, and he was just over the moon with it.
So proud of that motorcycle, and had a professional detailer go all over that motorcycle after he bought it to bring it back to better than showroom condition.
John was the biggest proponent for Mecum auctions, what we do here, the excitement that we bring.
I can't think of anyone was more excited than John Kraman. His legacy moving forward as we go by years and decades is going to be that thrill of getting more people interested into cars.
Having those cars crossing the block, the JK collection, I didn't think we'd ever have that. I wish we didn't have that collection. And I really hope that whoever buys these cars and motorcycles understands who had them before they got them.
John Kraman was a legend in this industry. His knowledge, his passion, and his dedication to Mecum Auctions makes him a legend.